And we're back with Trump surrogate Vitaly Bergman. So let's talk for a moment about these tapes released by Access Hollywood where Mr. Trump is caught on a hot mic bragging about sexual assault.
Look, Karen, this is just boy talk, locker room jive. I know it sounds awful the first time you've heard it, but this is perhaps sadly the kind of thing that is commonplace in locker rooms all throughout the country. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've heard that kind of talk, and I think, frankly, what Mr. Trump said was pretty mild, if you ask me.
Bragging about sexual assault is mild?
Absolutely. I mean, most of the locker room talk I hear is about violent sex with women or beating them senseless, cutting off a toe or a finger, even cannibalism. It's just the kind of thing that men, when they get behind closed doors, they love to brag about.
All right. Interesting stuff. Let's talk for a moment about the women who've come forward since the release of that tape.
Please, Karen. Have you seen these women?
Yes, I've seen the women.
Then come on, Karen, you know Mr. Trump. He only craps in gold-plated toilets, and he only touches grade A meat. All you have to do is look at these women, and you know Mr. Trump would never have touched them, not even if they begged him to, and I'll bet they did.
Okay. Let's talk about the latest polls. Mr. Trump is down between 6 and 11% in the latest...
Well, the polls are rigged, aren't they? I mean, Karen, you know, who was the first person to say that there would be rigging at the polls? Mr. Trump. And the fact that he's down in the polls, I think, is itself proof of such rigging, is it not?
I don't think so.
Well, I think that's because you're part of the media, and the media is out to get Trump, clearly.
By reporting what he says.
Yes. Exactly. How is it fair when the media is reporting all the bad things that Mr. Trump says and does and fail to do so for Secretary Clinton? It's a rigged system.
But she doesn't say or do the kind of bad things Mr. Trump says and does almost every day.
Oh, really? Doesn't she? Emails, Karen? Benghazi?
We've talked about the emails till we're blue in the face. Benghazi, the same. But Mr. Trump says things like captured soldiers aren't heroes.
He just meant that the best soldiers are the ones that don't get captured. I mean, isn't that obvious?
He also does things like mock the disabled.
I think that just shows Mr. Trump's commitment to the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. You know, I watch The Daily Show almost every night, Karen. Very funny stuff. Don't know if you've seen it. Political satire. One of the things I love about that show is that they mock everyone. Left, right, Democrat, Republican, Independent. But you know who they don't mock, Karen? The disabled. How do you think that makes the disabled people across this great country feel? Not good, Karen, not good at all. And I think Mr. Trump sought to remedy that. And if you ask me, he did a hell of a job.
All right. Let's move on to...
Karen, can I interrupt? Because I want to talk for a moment about something bad Hillary Clinton did say. She called half of Mr. Trump's supporters deplorable.
She did. That's true.
And when you think that half of the people in this great country are deplorable?
Actually, it would only be about 18 to 20% because it's just half of Mr. Trump's supporters, and he's polling between 37 and 40%.
Uh-huh. Okay, so 18 to 20%. All right. Okay, that sounds fair. Never mind.
And doesn't Mr. Trump think his supporters are deplorable? Earlier this year, he said he could shoot a person on Fifth Avenue and he wouldn't lose any supporters. Wouldn't that be deplorable?
Well, I think that depends on who he shot. If it were Rosie O'Donnell, no. And, you know, I think that would also confirm Mr. Trump's commitment to the Second Amendment as well. But I certainly don't think it would be any more deplorable than supporting a man who brags about sexually assaulting women. Do you?
No.
Okay, well, exactly. That's my whole point. Thank you. Listen, Karen, this election is a binary choice, okay? We're either going to put a person in the White House whose supporters will stand by him while he shoots another human being in broad daylight on Fifth Avenue, or we're not. But think about this, Karen. When was the last time you saw a political leader of any party inspire that kind of loyalty and devotion? How long has it been, Karen?
About 80 years.
Exactly. It's been a very long time. But that is the kind of loyalty that I think we need to make this country great again. And I think that's why Mr. Trump will be elected come November 28th.
And if he isn't?
Well, I think Mr. Trump will have absolutely no one to blame but Billy Bush.
All right. Vitaly Bergman, surrogate for the Trump campaign, thank you for coming on.
Oh no, Karen. I'm a Clinton surrogate.
Honestly, who gives a shit?